Okay, chapter 4, problem 2. I'll tell you up front, we have to go a long way to get a very short distance with this problem. This is a really difficult problem, but it's a good problem. It tests your ability to put all the pieces together of an income statement. And here's the pieces you're going to need. Okay, and all those pieces, I just went through the textbook and got the pieces I need. The one thing that I need to remind you of on page 186 of the Spiceland Seppi Nelson text, they define impairment loss. And if you're not sure what that is, I'd recommend you go take a look at it first. Let's go through and see some of the things they give us. Just going through and I'm reading this, and this is about just getting rid of a division, and we have to report the income separately. And by definition, and it'll tell you this on page 186, the difference between the fair value of the assets and the book value is an impairment loss. So there's the information. You have it. All your pieces will be slightly different than mine, but it's going to tell you the same exact information. Using my values, I'm going to go through and fill in the things I know. Well, they give me income tax from continuing operations of 16 million. So they give me that piece. Then they tell me income from continuing operations is 9,600,000. Well, given me that piece, I now know that my income tax expense is got to be 6,400,000. Okay. Because pre-tax income minus income tax is income from continuing operations. Okay. Now, they also tell us that the net income, the bottom line, is 6,300,000. So let me go through and highlight in green some of the things that they gave us. They gave us this, income from continuing operations. They gave us income from continuing operations, okay, and they gave us net income. So from those pieces, we could compute what we need so far, okay? So we know that the loss from discontinued operations has got to be the difference between these two is the loss. And in this particular problem, that's 3,300,000. So if that was our income from continuing operations and that's our net income after the loss, that had to be the loss. And that piece gives us a big piece of what we need to do. Now, if 3,300,000 was the after-tax piece, we need to divide that by 60, 1 minus the tax rate, that's what that is, to come up with the pre-tax cost. Okay, so that's the loss. Now we have to figure out what that is pre-tax, okay? So we take that and divide, and we come up with the loss pre-tax of, what is that? 3,300,000 divided by 60, 5,500,000. That's the loss minus the tax rate, okay? So we have the pre-tax income of the division. We're given that. That's given us 3 million. I'll highlight that. Remember, everything in green they gave us, okay? I'm sorry, everything in green they gave us, but you had to do some figuring. And they also told us the fair value of the division's assets. We'll need that piece, and they tell us here it's 13 million. So we'll add that. Now, here's what you need to do. You need to think about this. Our pre-tax income of the division, plus we have to add the loss pre-tax, gives us $8,500,000. So the book value, the assets plus the loss, gives us $21,500,000. Like I said, we had to go a long way to get that information, but you just had to go back and plug in the pieces. These pieces right here are the ones that you have to spend some time thinking about to make sure you get those firmly in your mind. Now, this would never be on one of my exams. It's a homework question to make you deal with the material, but it would never be on my exam. That's the good news. The bad news is that it most certainly would be on a CPA exam. And don't be horrified by it. Just think of the pieces and think of how you have to work your way backwards to get all of them. Good luck.